everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Jane and this is Overseas Nursing Bands. Welcome back. If you're new here, welcome, and I hope this serves you and helps you. And if you're old, thank you for always returning. Okay, so how are you anyway? Are you doing well? Have you been taking care of yourself? Congratulations to everyone that's passed the exams, and best of luck to everyone that is preparing for their exams, and those that are adjusting to life in the UK, and those aspiring to come to the UK. I'm wishing everybody well. I hope everything goes as you planned. And how has it been for 2023 so far? I hope you're all doing well and keeping to your goals and missions and visions for the year, not falling through yet. Good. Anyways, like I said, this is Overseas Nursing Bands, and we help everything UK nursing for overseas nurses, coaching, mentoring, career progression, whichever one that suits, just helping nurses generally. All right. So today I'm just going to be talking about, because someone made a request for neurological assessment, GCS, yeah. Okay. And yeah, what I just wanted to say was that that's okay. There's been some confusion. So when you're doing your OSCE to start with, it's that when you're doing assessment, you're either doing the community one. Once they bring PHQ or the MOAC, you know that's a community scenario. Once they bring normal set like the NMC score and the neurological, you know that's a word based. That's the differentiation. Okay, now the word based one could be a neurological assessment or just every other normal cases. So if you have a scenario where you're asked to someone, the scenario goes like this: Mr. XYZ Dada had a fall while he was cleaning the window and was admitted into the rush to the emergency department, and now he was discharged to your ward. You know that that person has something to do with neurological condition. They've had a fall, hit the head, lost consciousness, you know, something like that. And then you know this is how to deal with them. Okay, anyway, and then for the new score, it could be any other medical condition. We all know the new score. I'll just show you the form for PHQ. Note that, so if you're going to do an observation for, if you have PHQ or you have the MOAC, malnutrition, this is what you're going to use for your observation. Can you see it? This is what you use for observation, right? But we all know the news 2 form. But if you are going to do a neurological assessment, this is, sorry, water spilled on it. This is the what we'll be using. Okay, this is what we'll be using if you're doing a neurological assessment. So like I said earlier, you have a scenario where they say something, anything has to do, oh, the person lost consciousness, fell down and hit their head, you know, something in that direction, you know, definitely is a neurological assessment. And this is what I'm going just to discuss the form with you. I'm not going to be exam scenario, but you can apply it to an exam scenario. All right, so remember, first of all, before anything, always write your name, sign your initials, because when you start you might forget. So as a rule of thumb, I always say write your name, put down your initials in the hospital scenario, not when you're in the ward, obviously. In the hospital scenario, in the exam scenario, I beg your pardon, make sure you put your initials, date it, because if you haven't dated it, if your initial is not there, whatever is there is invalid. If the patient's name is not there, whatever is there is invalid. So make sure that you cross your T's and dot your I's. Is that okay? Anyway, so the coma scale. Neurological assessment is just to check if someone is a coma and the scale, or how to check and observe them. So the coma scale, we'll be looking at the eye opening, the verbal response, and the best motor responses. Okay, so it's MVE, motor response, verbal response, and eye opening. So for the eye opening, you were checking if it's spontaneous, if they just open their eye, if they just, and that's a 4, it's good. And if it's just to sound, maybe until you, hello, Mr. Jones, before they respond to you, we should be giving you a score of 3. And if it's to pressure, maybe until you touch them, or like that, before they respond. And then if they don't even respond at all, so not testable, which could be maybe in this situation the eyes are really swollen. Okay, and then in the verbal response as well, you want to know if they're orientated. You could ask questions like, what is today's date? Who is the president of America, or the prime minister of United Kingdom? Or one important, you can ask them their date of birth. Those are one of the things. And so if they're orientated, if they're confused, if they can use their words, if they can, what are they saying to you? Just talk to them so you can see if they're irritated, if they're confused, how they're using their words, if they're making just sounds, anything like that, or none at all. And the situation where it would be none at all is if probably they have an endotracheal tube, or there's a tracheostomy, and so cannot use. So you'll be aware of that also. And base motor response also, if they obey, and if it's localized, if it's normal flexion, if it's abnormal flexion, if extension, known or non-testable. All right, okay. And then you now know, you check the blood pressure, you check the pulse rate, and you're also going to do the pupil. So you have checked the right eye, you check the right eye and the left eye. You check one at each and you record. So what you do, you get your touch, you go from this way, that way. You want to see the reaction of the people. So they've given you here the reaction you're supposed to get. You're aiming for this between 3 and 4. That's what you're aiming for. Okay, and so you go and see how the reaction of the people, and then you write it here, the size, so you can say it was 4, it was 5, it was 6, it was 7. Obviously, if it's too big or too small, there's a problem. And then you also, the same thing with the left eye, you go and then you see the reaction with your pen, your touch, and then you can now write the size in there. Hope you can see. I don't know if this is clear enough. And then you come to the limb movement. You want to check if it's normal power, if it's mild weakness, if it's severe weakness, if it's spastic flexion, if it's extension, if there's no extension. And how you do this, for example, you say, can you lift your arm up for me? So they can hold it like so for you. All right, and then the same thing with the leg. They can lift it up and hold it for you, and hold it and keep it. They can bend it, flex it. So if the limb, if they can bend, flexion, that's what I mean by flexion, something like that. And then you can say 2 things that you can do. Lift your leg up for me. So let's say this is the leg. I can't lift my leg up now, I'm not using anything. And then you can say, can you press, and then you bring your palm and tell them with the and say press on, and just try to push and let them resist your push. Okay, or so this is the foot, you bring your hand and say, can you push, and see if they are able to resist your pressure. So you can tell how much push they can give, how much muscle they can give. And yeah, that's basically it in a nutshell. And then you record if it was okay, they were able to have normal flexion, fine and good, if whatever situation it was, and then you give the total score that you got. If they were on oxygen, you can now write they're on oxygen. If it's 2 liter, 1 liter. So I just want to say, make sure that for the limb movement, you record if it's the right leg, the left leg, whichever one you're doing, the arms, the right arms, the left arms, you make sure. So record right and left separately. If there is a difference between the two, you have to record separately. And then your initials. I think that's very straightforward. I hope that's been helpful for someone anyway, but if you need further clarification, just drop me an email or leave a message here and I'll get to do it. If you want me to do in a hospital exam situation, let me know and I can also show us the exam situation. All right, so thank you for watching and I hope this rambling makes sense and it helps you in your exam. I want to wish you all the very best in your exams, and please do text me, email me, and let me know that you've passed. All right, thank you for watching. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Hello everyone, welcome.